All right, welcome to the third review, fourth video of the session, final one of the evening. Up this time is Flowstone Saga. Um, Fight monsters in a truly unique puzzle-based battle system. Use the power of falling blocks. Weave together powerful combo attacks. Use elemental powers. Throw items. Sabotage enemy attacks. And grow in power to thwart everything from lowly Beewees to cookie ferrets to kragans to battle axolotls. Ooh, that was tortured. Anyway, um, master a totally unique puzzle battle system in this 16-bit JRPG-inspired adventure featuring an epic story, charming music, charming characters, stunning pixel art, and epic music. Please note you used epic twice here.
One of those.
It's just that epic.
Yeah, I'm like, please consult a thesaurus. Follow a grand story set in the mysterious oceans and islands, filled with mysteries and lost memories, ancient ruins, pirates, treasures, and frogs. Yeah, right. So, first of all, I do not know why developers delist demos when a game goes live.
Mm-hmm.
But that happened here, so enjoy the trailer footage. But putting that aside, yeah, this game basically asks, what if we took, let's say, Secret of Mana and infused it with Tetris? I mean, I guess you could use like Final Fantasy VI. It depends on how you play, because this game actually has two modes. It's got the real-time mode, and it's got the turn-based, what they call hold mode. I got to admit, I never turned on hold mode because, well, I know how to play Tetris. And I'm like, even being attacked by enemies, I've also played like Puyo Puyo and Puzzle League, and games where you are being attacked and are attacking an opponent in real time.
Yeah.
So nothing here was, mind-bendingly explosive to the brain. Like, though, I suppose kudos are in order for picking the falling blocks genre to do your RPG fusion.
Instead of the match 3 block puzzler for like the 18th time.
Like, well beyond that.
I was being generous.
But yeah, it's like, mixing Bejeweled and RPGs is how we got Puzzle Quest.
Yeah.
Which is an entire franchise now.
Yep. So is it just you play the falling block minigame for combat? There's no like menuing or anything like that?
There's a bit more to it. I'm like, yes, but it's all about the falling blocks.
So basically, the better you do in that, the better you do in actual combat.
Yes. I'm like, but it's not one-to-one with Tetris.
Yeah, I saw some non-Tetraminos in there.
Well, not only that, but it also has to do with like play style and how the game is structured. Because you got to remember, this isn't you're not building towards a high score. You're not building towards an ever-increasing line to infinity. You're not even getting rid of garbage blocks. No, it is like
Puzzle. Is it just
Quest.
puzzle clear?
Yes, in the sense that puzzle clearing equals dead enemies. It has that in common with Puzzle Quest.
So you have to. Are you just trying to clear lines with a limited number or arrangement of blocks or something?
That is the basics, but there's more. What they call the link crystals in game. Because, well, the first caveat they'll throw you are the heat blocks, which are red squares that, if you activate, will increase your damage. And you will be what they call on fire, to keep the combo up. And that's kind of where the dichotomy of this game differs from Tetris, at least on the onset. It branches out more, but I'll get to that in a bit, because it's not about necessarily getting a Tetris, or what they call the big payoffs. It's about doing damage. And yes, the bigger your stack, the more damage you will do. But it's also, that is a slower, more methodical way of attacking versus quick, clear lines.
Yeah, quick combos over the Tetrises, basically.
Yes. And that's your first consideration. Additional considerations come with your, what they call the job or the frog system. Because that's where this game really changes up the stylings, depending on what you choose. Because, your initial job, freelancer, that is very Tetris. That is very, if you play Tetris, you played this. Now, where it gets interesting is when it starts opening up the job system. I chose Demolitionist, which plays very unlike Tetris. It's like you would never play Tetris like you would play this particular job. Because, okay, first of all, it changes up the blocks considerably. Like it'll give you very long L pieces. Like they're 4 spaces long versus the 3. And it gives you a lot more square blocks, big, thick square blocks. At that. So you have to change the approach here. But it's also the key feature of the Demolitionist job is it tosses out blocks of dynamite. And if you get rid of the dynamite, the bottom 2 lines of your stack blows up and does additional damage. So this is it says on the tin, this is a job that rewards risky play.
And I imagine if you fully clear the board, that does extra damage.
I'm like, to a extent, it's really more about the dynamite. But it's also, you can build up some pretty damaging stacks on its own because you're given the block set to do that. And like I said, and this style plays very unlike Tetris. It's still going to be, there's still an inherent Tetrisness to it all because, well, look at it. But it's, if you do want to differentiate from base Tetris, it will come just a little later on. And there are a few other things. You can also, there's the orbs that heal yourself and trigger these special attacks. Now, that's linked to your magic system. Like the first magic spell you get is a extra long straight block that's 5. I don't think the individual segments have names.
5 units. Let's just go with that.
Yeah. Later on, you get the on fire mode. which is not only narratively important, like it's a thing that allows, like, I want to say continuous damage. I didn't really get to use it all that often before, well, life got in the way.
Mm-hmm. Giant spinning watery wall of death and whatnot.
Yeah, and by the time all that cleared, I had to deal with the kids, and I had to move on to the next week's games. So sometimes that happens,
Mm-hmm.
which is unfortunate because honestly, this game is really, really good.
I mean, it looks interesting.
Yeah.
Is the block placement rigid or is it more gravity? Like, once you open up a line, will it start flowing down, or do they just stay where they're at?
No, none of that tricky tower stuff here. Like, no, there's no gravity.
Right.
It's like everything's stuck in place.
Good. Or bad, depending on your preference.
Mm.
There are some people who would prefer, the blocks above just fall in and fill in the lines below.
Yeah. That being said, I will admit this game is more puzzle game than RPG.
I was seeing some things where you're like having some of the falling blocks fill in an outline.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like story progression based stuff, or
that I think is a later power?
Hmm.
Yeah. But you do equip things that will factor into defense, damage, special not abilities, traits. Like I got the Midas ring, which gave me a lot more gold, or units of money after a battle. That kind of thing. It's all pretty standard RPG stuff. There's also a very rudimentary crafting decoration system here that is so vestigial I barely bothered with it. Like, it's like, honestly, that stuff, that could have done with a smidge more fleshing out.
Unless it's one of those things that it's more for mid to late game than early game type things, but we'll probably never know.
Yeah. As far as the plot goes, yeah, if you've played a JRPG, you've played this.
Not setting the world on fire with this one story wise.
It's got fucking amnesia in it. Like, that is the most.
I think we're required to take a shot at this point.
Yeah, I'm like, look, that was getting trite in the PlayStation era.
Oh yeah, if you took a shot every time a character mentioned they had amnesia in the PlayStation era, you would have died. Yeah. Even drinking water, you would have died.
Like I said, it's all fine in that case, but the real question is how well does the fusion assortment lines up, and I'd say pretty well. But I'd still classify this as more of a puzzle game than an RPG. Like, this game wasn't pulling me away from Pillars of Eternity.
I mean, to some extent, an RPG is in the storytelling, not in the whatever mechanics it chooses to use for battle.
It depends on the on how you want to view an RPG.
Yeah. Fair, I suppose.
That is a debate we are not prepared to go down.
Technically, every game's a puzzle game if you're really bad at it.
But yeah, overall, this is one of the better games I played this year. and pulls off the, combining two disparate genres thing much better than the first game we reviewed today.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wanted to play more of this after like 5-6 hours of play.
Well, good thing the season is starting to wind down, so you can play it in the off-season, assuming you ever break free of Pillars of Eternity.
I mean, that may be difficult.
I know, that's why I added that.
Anyway, so in terms of pricing, the game clocks in at $17.99. Introductory discount at $14.39. I think that's a fair price for a game such as this. Honestly, I like this a lot better than a lot of other, not just RPG hybrids, but a lot of other RPG or RPGS games we featured on the show. The RPG card rogue deck builder things that crop up.
Probably I think the second most, game type that has rolled across our desk.
I think we have another one of those coming up here soon. Yeah, that's right. I think I get Stardiver gave that one to Galax. Anyway, but yeah, really good time here. And from what I also understand, it might be connected to the developer's previous games in some fashion. This is the first one of those I played, so I couldn't tell you how it links up with the wider world.
Mm-hmm. Can confirm that Stardiver is in my inventory.
Mm-hmm. You'll probably have to do that again when we actually get it. Yeah, that's a few weeks away. Anyway, so yeah, that'll about do it for not just this review, but this review session. So, coming up on the week ahead, we are having on Wednesday, October 2nd, Rick Salter of Hojo Studio. They are an Australian, they look like to be a mobile-first developer, or at least heavily in the mobile scene. We'll be talking about their latest title, The Godfather, a Mafia Pigeon Saga, which was released onto Steam last year and has hit the Nintendo Switch and the iPhone/iPad in recent months. I don't know, it's like I'm just reminded that this premise was kind of done about 30 years ago on Animaniacs.
Just about to ask, is Spielberg suing?
Not as far as I know.
Yeah. Again, that was a joke.
Anyway, and on Friday, October 4th, once again, we'll be attempting to having Korsden of Fission Ogre on the program and doing our interview of Relentless Frontier. We do have a new episode of Moonhawk Studios Presents planned as well. Hopefully Mac is not arrested by then. And also remember, it's you guys is in the hot seat this week.
Yep.
So until next time, I shall wish you good gaming.